What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Today is Sunday, the 18th, and this is the Anger Management Podcast. You know what I mean? So, the purpose of the podcast is to focus on men's mental health awareness, and then I got some insight. I might actually start having additional guests to come on that might be a part of our lives who might want to give us some insight about how they had to deal with our mental health and how they had to navigate moving around certain ways. So I want to thank that person for prompting me to do that idea later on down the line. But nonetheless, we got the same crew here. They're going to always be here. These are my dogs. These are ones that hold me accountable, and I do the same for them. We look out for each other and we build each other up when we feel like no one else is around. But I trust these guys here to give them my personal information, as well as they trust me to provide them with information to hold them accountable as well. So we're going to go around the room. If you haven't seen the show, this is the Anger Management Show, and to my left is the one and only Funny Bone. What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. What's good with you, man?
Hey, and then to the left of Funny Bone is the one and only
Big Chip.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And to the left of Big Chip is
Me, Pastor Ernest.
Pastor Ernest, and our head engineer that's on the show is the very funny and talented The Favor. Yeah, I didn't say it's full government, so I know he'd be tripping about you can't use his name Ed, but I said I'm not going to do that this time. You know?
This dude.
So what I like to do before I start all the shows is I like to see where everybody's at mentally. So how y'all doing today, brothers?
Everything's solid with me, man. I'm good.
I'm good. Got
I'm
a little
good.
cold.
Yeah,
Good.
Fabe.
I'm good, but I just want everybody to pray for my mini-me over in New Zealand. She's having some issues with some people hacking her financial accounts, and it's hard for her to get that fixed living in a foreign country. So,
Wow.
you know, if anybody out there knows people that can clean up credit and get some lawyers stateside, that my daughter would be greatly appreciative.
Oh, see, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be taking them calls from them Nigerians. They'll take your money. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But on my end, you know, I had a very good weekend this weekend. Had partially good. You know what I mean? So I emceed for Bubba Dub this weekend at the Comedy Zone, which anytime I'm on stage, I enjoy myself.
Absolutely.
That's kind of like a form of therapy. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And then I got some insight about how I can move the podcast forward and bringing up different ideas and topics for the show as well. Spoke to some individuals who will be able to help us get this monetized, so that way we can start making funds off of the show. So that's what I'm looking into doing next. And then on the downside, when say you need help, y'all can have to keep me in prayer when dealing with my daughter, because listen, she's 22 and she thinks she knows everything. I'm serious. I mean, everything to the point to where it's like a lot of the stuff that you feel like I should do, you want me to do, but I think I've done enough already. You know what I mean? I think she has this. I love her very much, and she has this sense of entitlement to where she feels like I should do it anyway, regardless of the mess that you're doing. I'm seeing you do this mess, and you want me to co-sign it. I'm sorry, I'm not about to do that. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm not sure. I know for sure she's angry with me, to the point to where she came over to the house. She came over to the house and got her mail that's here. She know I'm here. Got the mail and walked out. Didn't speak to me, didn't say anything to me at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, me and her, we're gonna have a really in-depth conversation about like, okay, listen, that's mad disrespectful. I give you access to my home, and I'm a loss for words for that. That was kind of
It's a different generation right now, man. So don't think it's just you. My son, 28. I just talked to another friend of mine who for whatever reason, I don't know. It's like you want to say it's something in the water, but no, it's not. This whole generation is totally different now. You would rather pay someone that's not your in-law to stay with them rather than pay your mama, who's actually only asking you for little or nothing. But you got such an attitude with your mom that you'd rather go out and pay somebody else. It's like, hey, you got the whole house, but now you just got a room.
Right, absolutely.
It doesn't make sense.
Ain't no
But I
question
mean,
about that.
it's just the way of the world. I think one of the things we're dealing with is the fact that kids don't fear their parents. I told my son, look, I'm from the old school. I brought you in, I'll take you out and suffer the consequences later. And there's just no ifs and buts because, I mean, all of us around in the same age bracket, but we knew, we were just talking about this. Since when did you ever backtalk your parents and still had your teeth?
And still had your teeth. That's what.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
'cause I'm-
because I mean,
I gotta check mine
when we
now.
were growing up, it was whatever was close to our parents' hand, and whatever was close, that's what you got hit with. And they love to play games with you. They play mind games with you. Go on outside there and get that switch,
You gotta get
and
something
don't
to
mess
do
around
something.
and come back with a switch that's too small.
That's true. Ain't no question.
Then I'll go out there and find one myself. I'm going to get the whole root and show you just what time it is. But it's just, that's what it is. And I think society has made it bad, whereas me and somebody else were talking about this, the military, and some of us was in the military. Since when you had something called a stress card? Drill son, you stressing me out. I'm going to show you this card, so you got to leave me alone. You got kids nowadays talking about, hey, I'm gonna call the child support. I'm gonna call child abuse on you. Okay, I'm like Medea. By the time they get here, you're gonna be calling somebody else, like an ambulance.
Yo,
It's just that simple.
see, I understand that when it comes to boys. You know, you got to do that. You got to have that aggressive stance with boys because they're just going to test you, right?
Right.
But I have a daughter, and it's like I know I try my best to raise her so that way. Listen, you're sheltered, but I made it as hard as I could within the home, so that way you can kind of understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like there was always consequences to the things that you've done. So, but you were sheltered, so those same consequences that you would have met out in the world,
Right.
you didn't have to meet out here. So, if you're doing bad in school or you think you're doing everything on your own, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to take your mattress and your box spring and everything like that. You still got a room over your
Right,
head.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So now you're sleeping with just sheets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As punishment or whatnot, just to get you to learn. I'm not trying to beat you over the head with anything, but then you think I'm overly mean. I talk to you first and try to explain my position, and you don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's like now, like the current situation is that she wants to move, right? She wants to move. Now she's already moved out of here, but you want to move out on your own, right? And then we had a conversation where she said she's been taking care of herself since she was 16. I'm like, listen, how are you taking care of yourself since you was 16 and you were living in my house? And I say taking care of is like, okay, you are handling everything, absolutely everything, your own rent, your own car note. I was like, listen, half the stuff you got, I gave to you. Your car that you currently drive is a car I gave you in high school that was free. You never paid a car note. You know what I mean? And I've been telling you to do what you're supposed to do so that way you can do what you want to do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Build up your savings account. Make sure you better yourself. Get an education so that way you can be more hireable when you go out into the world. You know what I mean? But all of these things, I even say try the military. You know what I'm saying? Join JSO or something. Do something that will make you a better person so that way you can make more money in the long run. And she said no to absolutely everything I said. Absolutely. And then to this day, I gave her the car. I tell her that things need to be done. She says okay, and she never gets it done. So my question is why would you think I would want to like put energy behind anything else that you're trying to do at this point?
I think some kids think that we owe them something.
And that entitlement.
That's the problem. We're only required to do certain things, and that's provide you a place to stay, provide clothes on your back, and provide food for you. But I think that sometimes, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Sometimes we can be the problem ourselves because sometimes you want to try to please your kids so much that you're giving them everything they want.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like
You cripple them.
you cripple them, but then it's like this. I heard a pastor friend of mine say, "Stop telling a man that he's the man of the house when he's young and he ain't paying no bills." Because what happens is you've crippled him to the point where, hey, you gave me this title, now I'm gonna get with Susan May, And when I get with Susan May, I'm gonna do the same thing I did in my mama house. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
No question about
But I'm the man of the house.
it.
But last time I checked, if you're the man of the house, you take care of home. You pay the bills.
Ain't no question. And I think too, to add to that, man, you know, a lot of times when I look at situations, I have to also play the devil advocate on a lot of things with children, because when you seriously think about it, I remember my mama, when I was coming up, all my aunties said that my mom had these black leather pants she used to wear and these red high heels. And they said, your mama was a fox. Now, I'm looking through my mama room and I can't find these leather pants. I can't find these red pumps that my auntie was talking about. But what my mama did was, when she went out, she took her clothes to my auntie house to get dressed, so I could never see her in that position. And I think a lot of times we allow our children to see us in so many positions, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That we become so friendly with them that when it's time for them to discipline us, you know, or whatever, it become harder because, Mom, you was just twerking with me. You was just dancing with me. Now you trying to tell me what to do. And a lot of times when I talk to people in our generation, they really don't understand it, to the point like, man, what are you talking about? I understand now why our parents wasn't friends with us, because it makes it easy to discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to discipline somebody who you were just, you know what I'm saying, twerking with. You see what I'm saying? Then you hopping on them or whatever, the whole nine. So I definitely see a level of complication now in terms of other children, because they become a little bit confused. I was telling my son, I said, man, listen, y'all got it hard, because when we was coming up, we didn't have to worry about our mama on Facebook with pictures half naked and they friends. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Seeing
know.
it, yeah.
They don't understand the pressure of that there that these kids going through, to a point, because now you our generation, you know, you trying to actually look young and act young, the whole nine. But we don't understand sometimes what we sacrificing is to discipline them. Makes it more complicated, because just that scene that my mom didn't allow me to see certain things. She didn't allow me to see them black leather pants she had. Although she still wore them, but she still wanted me to see her as mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it showed me that, you know, we just can't be their friends. And I think it's so hard for us not to, because we want to be young. We want to act like them a whole 9 yards, but it's something you're sacrificing to. You're sacrificing being able to discipline them the way that how it was easy for our parents and grandparents to discipline us. Because sometimes we'll say we'll want to give our kids a life we didn't have. And a lot of it is material stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we grew up and 5 of us in the bedroom, we'll say, I'm gonna make sure I have a house and my child had their own bedroom and all this stuff here. So everything that we're trying to give our kids in our generation is really price tag stuff. It's not really really teaching. It's just, I'm gonna make sure they have a big sweet 16 party. It's real big and all that. And a lot of it has a lot to do with that. A lot of them is confused because we're more their friends than we're more their parent. You know, because I'm guilty of it. And sometimes parents, we have to take ownership. Man, let me tell you, I've been so cool with my son, and one day he texted me. I'm going to tell you what the text said. It said, bruh. Then he asked me a question. You know, it's just that. He said, bruh, what we eating tonight? And guess what I text Mike? Pizza. You see what I'm saying? Because why? Because I formed that. So I couldn't get mad at him without first getting mad at me. You know what I'm saying? You know, and he was straight, he was like, appreciate it. Well, bro, you have you a good day. I say you do the same. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of that, I have to understand that I had to look at myself like, why is he calling me bro? I made it that way for him to call me bro, you know? So I think it's a huge twofold when it comes down to, you know, the children and what they're doing today and what they're allowed to get away with versus us.
Well, I think you still have to look at it another way too, because you have other kids who have that kind of connection with their parents. So sometimes people want to follow suit.
Facts,
You know,
facts.
just because Betty and Barbie got that kind of communication and their mom and daughter, don't mean me and you are like that. I'm still gonna discipline you,
Right.
and make sure you have everything. Because that's
Absolutely.
the thing. We have to understand this. We can't give them everything they want. And I'm not going to. I would give you what you need. If it's a want, then guess what? You're going to go out and you're going to do what you need to do to get it.
That's right.
Because I think right now we're dealing with kids that don't have priorities in order.
I agree with that.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't have priorities in order. They don't. And it's sad because they're not valuing life. I told a young kid when I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, I said, you know, when we grew up, we had this thing called the 2-for-1 special. If you were cutting up, whoever saw you cutting up tore your butt up.
That's where it
And
goes.
then by the time you got home, you knew you were waiting to get another one when you got there.
You got another one.
And the young man said, "Oh man, coach, I couldn't live in that era." I said, "But guess what? We ain't bury a lot of kids back then.
You got another one. No question about that.
We didn't bury a lot of kids back then. We buried older people, and they had already got what God promised us, 70 plus. Now we're burying more young kids than we burying the older people.
Facts. Facts. No question.
So that's the problem. I mean, you can connect with your child without giving them everything that they want or trying to be their friend. Because, I mean, my coach told me, look, I didn't realize my coach was only 6 years older than me until I came back home and I was in the military then.
Yeah, yeah.
And we talking. He said, man, and he tell me how old he is. I'm like, wow, you only 6 years older than me. I said, but he had a position.
Right. Yeah.
And that position was called coach.
yeah.
And I'm the player. So guess what? We respected the position that they're in.
Yeah.
So right now it's hard because there's like a respect.
Absolutely.
But look at what brought us this far.
No question. No question.
But here's the way I see it, right? In my daughter's situation, and with my within my prayer time, you know what I'm saying? God says, listen, you know your child. You know that she's the type of person that has to go through it just to learn. And there's kids that's going to be out there like that. Unfortunately, given the circumstances in my situation, I try my best to explain to her, listen, I've been through some things so that way you can avoid going through it. But if you feel like you want to go through what I've been through, then by all means, what you do over there don't affect me here. And I had to explain that to her. I was like, listen, if that's what you want to do, so be it. Here's the problems that I see. No finances, no credit, no savings. Your priorities, you're not bettering yourself. You're still in the same position when you graduated high school that you are now. You're 18, that was 18, now you're 22. You know what I mean? So your prized possession is time. And right now, given the circumstance, if you would have went to college, you would have been graduated by now. But now you don't have that. I was like, a majority of your friends that you quote unquote call friends either went into the military or they're going somewhere. I was like, what are you doing? And then now you're chasing after this boy now. So at the end of the day, here's what I told her. I was like, listen, I love you. I said, I can't put my energy behind none of that you're talking about right now. But I was like, you don't listen to me anyway. So you're going to do what you want to do anyway. I said, I'm here to watch the show. I'm here to watch the show. I said, the only thing that I can give you at this point is advice and to make sure that you're not homeless. But if everything else you want to try to do on your own, by all means, so be it. Do it.
I think that's the hard part for us as parents. Letting go and letting God. Because sometimes we have to turn our kids over. Like you're saying, sometimes they're going to have to learn the hard way. And what we've done is we've tried to do everything we can to prevent them from making those same mistakes that we made as kids. But sometimes they just don't want to listen to us. They think we're trying to control their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing. You're trying to tell me what to do. I got all that. But guess what? I got the T-shirt. I done wore it before. I know where you're going because I done been there. But never been, can't tell, want to go how to get there. And then sometimes, even if you've been there, they still don't want to listen to you because they trying to think you're trying to control their life.
Yeah, and to add to that, I'll let my main man, Big Chip, say something. Man, but the whole sales tell word or two.
No, I'm listening to you.
But I think truthfully, man, again, in our generation as parents, a lot of parents today, we are actually getting our children to live a life that we want them to live. And I think also the parents of today that we are more in competition with other parents based on how my child turned out. And sometimes kids see that. Sometimes kids can see, okay, if you love the child the most that play football versus the one that work at Target. You see what I'm saying? And I think in our generation, we promote who produce. And sometimes the child who may not produce that much, they see less love. You know what I'm saying? I tell both of my sons all day long. I say, I'm not proud of y'all based on what y'all do. I'm proud of y'all based on who y'all are. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not on social media, don't too much vibe with it, but I get it. That's the way of life. But, you know, from what I hear, I see people over celebrate their child if they play football, if they do something. But then you got a child that work in a warehouse at Amazon or whatever, that child don't too much get no love. And then it makes that child that work at Amazon see how it goes. That is based on a performance basis on how my love will be. But then the child that work at Amazon, they don't get the same grace period as the star football player may get. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of this stuff here is I think it's real complicated nowadays. It's especially for for the child too, because they look at it too to a point of parents be more in competition with other parents. Like for instance, I tell my son all day long, I want no credit and I want no blame. If you do good, that's because of you. If you do bad, that's because of you. I don't want no credit and no blame. But how parents do it is, you can treat your child messed up, and your child can be the president of the United States of America. Everybody will say you are the best parent of all times. You can be the great parent and take care of your child, and your child be a bum on the street. They're gonna say you are a terrible parent. At the end of the day, with Cain and Abel, one listened and the other one didn't. And at the end of the day, they ain't gonna listen. You're gonna have some listen. You're gonna have some that don't listen. Even if you do the same exact teaching.
Yeah, I think the media play a big part. Radio, TV, anything you say play a big part. And then in these households, a lot of men ain't being men. They just do what their father do or something. They not taking out, okay, let me see why daddy messed up, how he messed up or whatever. They're not taking that out of raising their kids. So, but if you raise your kids right, your trust is in the world. Like, yeah, they having a few bad years, but guess what? They gonna come back eventually because I raised them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of parents and you're right, and a lot of competition.
Yep, it is.
And they put the kids don't know.
They don't know.
But my mama got this name brand and all this, and that's what kids become about.
Yeah.
And then you try and figure out why is they materialistic? That ain't you can't understand it. No, you just got to be the foundation of the household.
Yeah.
Try and be the kingsman of the house.
Ain't no question, man.
And have your kids to understand. You can't tell a kid go do your homework, but then you go watch TV. It don't work like that, because the kid gonna look at you and be like, well, dog, when I get grown, shoot, I can watch TV. I don't got to do no I can tell them to do homework if I have kids, but I'm not setting a good example.
Nah, no question.
So the example you set it's gonna come back to you, regardless of what you do, what you think you're doing in the dark or whatever. No, once you get to that point, you be like, you know what? I'm a man, even when nobody else looking. That's when you become a man. Not when people looking, because you got all this here. That's it.
Well, listen, right? I have.
That's right.
You mentioned having multiple kids. How many kids you got, Ernest?
I have 4.
4. Chip?
2.
Bone?
I got 2, but I ain't getting no other phone calls yet.
No.
So I got 2.
I got something for you, so I'm gonna let you go ahead. But
I got 2 as of right now, but I mean, hey, boss, I'm just saying.
I only have 1.
Okay.
So you all are speaking from the dynamics of having multiple kids. I can understand the production side of looking at your kids. One is over the other and things like that, right? But when we only have 1, like all of my eggs is in this one
I got you.
individual, right? So I gave her the best of me, right? All of the education when it comes to making sure your finances and stuff is straight. You never had to worry about being evicted. Always had food that you could eat and things like that. So you didn't have any worries at all because I've taken very good care of you. You know what I mean? That there was never an issue where she was concerned about anything. And I think that might be what's going to be the learning factor when she steps out there on her own. It's like, okay, I don't mind that, but what's going to happen is that what's going to happen when you can't pay that bill? What's going to happen when all of a sudden your rent is due and you don't have enough money and now you're trying to figure some things out? So I explained to her to the best of my knowledge. And it has never been a tit for tat where I'm competing with other kids. It's just that you're my only daughter, and whatever you decide that you want to do, I'm going to support you 100% in it. So she's done flag football, I was there. She done track, I was there. She done weightlifting, I was there. When she got her first job at Chipotle, I was there. When she decided she wanted to leave Chipotle and go work at Walmart, I was there. You know what I mean? So all of the positive things that you decided that you wanted to do, I said, as long as you're doing something. But I said, here, you're going to have to be better because it's just you. You know what I'm saying? You can't, when I die and your mother die, you got cousins, right? But it's just going to be you. You're going to have to depend on yourself. It's not like you're going to have any other family members that are like really close by you that's going to be like, yeah, you can come. No, they're going to be like, these boys, they're going to have their own families with their own. You think they're going to want you to come over there because you can't take care of yourself? You know what I mean? No.
Question: did she ever see you struggle?
No.
That's a problem.
But see, that shouldn't be. I told her, seeing me struggle versus me telling you where I've come from. I told her, listen, we've been evicted. I told her that, listen, we used to eat syrup sandwiches, and this is the reason why I work as hard as I do. Yeah, you don't have to do this. You don't. I'm letting you know this is what has happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to have a car. I'm walking in the snow to get back and forth to school and work. Whereas I can now take you, and now you have a vehicle in high school. I didn't have a vehicle in high school. You know what I mean? I was catching an activity bus. You know what I mean?
How did that make you think? How did it humble you when you didn't have that stuff?
Well, what humbled me was one specific situation between my mom when my mom got sick. So when my mom got sick and she had the thyroid, I was asking for something from her. She got it for me, but then she ended up getting sick right afterwards. And then from that point forward, I stopped asking for stuff because then I kind of knew what position my mom was in. But then even still, my dad wasn't in my life at that time period neither. So it's not that I saw my mom struggle. I just saw my mom work extremely hard. And then at some point, my mom got sick. So I didn't want to be put or have anybody in my family put that I was responsible for in a situation where you had to work so much to where you get sick.
So did you, by your dad not being in your life, did you be like, oh, I'm going to be in my daughter's life? Did you base it off that or base it off being a man?
Both. I was like, because I didn't have a father in my life. I said, there's two ways you can learn. You can learn by seeing positive things, and you can learn by not doing what you saw somebody else do. Since my dad wasn't in my life growing up or in my sister's life, I made a conscious decision that I'm going to be there for my child for everything. Because that's what I wanted. Now, are you telling me maybe I should have not been there as much as I should have? No, I think that I was there as much as I could for all of her positive things, and I scold her for making bad decisions, just what a father would do. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in ROTC and your gunnery sergeant that's in ROTC says, listen, you need to have your hair in a certain type of way, but you don't want to do that because you want to stick with the styles. No, you are in ROTC. You have to have your hair this specific kind of way. You know what I mean? Or you can stop doing ROTC.
Yeah.
So did you get her needs or wants or both? Did you get her needs or wants or both?
Well, if she asked for certain things, as long as she was doing the things that she was supposed to do, she got the things that she wanted. So if you do your chores and you do what I'm asking you to do, you're You're not hindering the opportunities that's coming to you because you're doing what you're supposed to do. That was always my rule for her. Do what you're supposed to do so that way you can do what you want to do. If you come home and you do your homework and then you're getting decent grades in school and you're taking care of the chores that you're supposed to, bathroom clean, room clean, and all of that, what are the things that I need to hold back from you?
That's true.
So you know that's why she living, well, doing what she doing now.
Explain.
You said, as long as she doing what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, but then
Right.
if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But her mind's still like, oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm telling you, the same thing that's because I explained that to her. I'm telling you, you're not doing what you're
Yeah,
supposed
but
to do.
she's not. She just focused on. To me, I think she just focused on a different part of what you're saying.
Oh, she can. But see, then that's where God told me, okay, yeah, take your
Yeah,
hands
you
off of
got-
that.
you got
Yeah,
to.
you about to find out
'Cause
you're
you'll
really
go
not
crazy.
doing. No, you're really about to find out you're really not doing what you think you're doing.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
You, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. Eventually, she'll come back and say that there, but that ain't for you to be like, I told you. You see what I'm saying? A lot of parents do that.
Yeah, but I think too. Even I remember when I was teaching at First Coast High School, and when I was learning about teaching, one of the main things that the principal always said is that when your class take a test, answer no questions because it's test time. You had Monday through Thursday to teach them everything, but on Friday, it's on them. And I think as parenting, our job is just like, what I do. I let my kids take their tests. Whether they make a 60 or 65, 70, it's on them. But I know Monday through Thursday, I prepared them for everything that's what's going to be on that test. Because I think the sad part about parenting now is that if my son score 100, then that's when I get high praise. But if he score 30, that's when I'm going to be critiqued as being a bad parent. No, I did my job Monday through Thursday. The sad part about even playing football, I heard somebody say, going for fourth down only good when it works. You know what I'm saying? When it don't work, I would did X, Y, Z. I would have punted. I would have punted the ball. You know what I'm saying? But if I go for fourth down and it works, it was good. Sometimes you have to say to yourself, I have to be willing to live with the decision that I'm going to make. And I believe inside of me that I raised my boys the best way I can. However they choose to take the test, that's on them. And I'm good with it because I know I done everything within inside of me. You know what I'm saying? For them to take the test, if one choose to pass it, that's cool. If the other one choose to fail it, I'm good with that too. And I think as being a parent, we have to be good within ourselves that as long as we taught them everything we can teach them Monday through Thursday, on Friday test time, that's on them. And when you see that teacher, that teacher's not walking around everybody's table and looking and seeing what you writing down. That teacher is enjoying themselves, or they probably on their phone, minding their business and all that because they done their job Monday through Thursday. And as long as you do your job and just talking to you, knowing that what you did Monday through Thursday, sit back and relax and allow her to take the test. Because if she choose to make a 30, that's on her. If she choose to make a 95, that's still on her. It's just the sad part about today's time is society gonna blame you if she make a 30. But give her all praise if she make a 95. You see what I'm saying? No, give her all the praise for both of them because I know inside of me, I done everything I can do to prepare her for the test. I think what hurts us as parents that our parents' generation, when they raised us, they only stopped on Thursday. We go all with a test day. Oh, you gotta make a good test score too because that's gonna help me be a good mama. That's gonna help me be a good father. Devil is a lie. I'm done after Thursday. That's on you. Thursday my last day with you, Jike. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? Thursday you'll take a quiz. On Friday is test day. On Friday I'm quiet. That's on you. And both of my sons, they grown. Guess what? Test day. Test day. I'm quiet. Don't call me. None of that stuff. That's on you. I told you every single thing that was going to be inside that test. And just talking to you, I know everything that's going on that she was already prepared for the test. We sit back and we allow them to take the test. But I tell my son all day long when I was training him for test day. He said, why you never talk highly about me when I play sports and all that stuff there? I said, because I never want to set you up for failure. So I'm never going to overly congratulate you. I remember when I played football, I told Daddy I scored 4 touchdowns. He said, you should have scored 5. I scored 6, should have scored 7. He wanted to show me that he was never going to be satisfied with me because he wanted me to try to achieve for more. And I told my son the same as like, whatever y'all do, I'm not going to overly congratulate y'all because I want more out of you. But on test day, don't be mad at me if I'm younger, having fun, whatever, because I done my job. You see what I'm saying? And I told him straightforward, if something going wrong with me test day, are you going to stop what you doing and say, let me help Daddy? Nope. You ain't going to say that. So guess what? Take the test. I done my part.
Okay, but let me flip the script a little bit. Let's talk from a standpoint of a child being broken.
Right.
Now, like you say, you got 2 kids, I got 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happens when you're looking out for your kids, but you seem to put more emphasis or more into one child versus another?
I definitely understand what you're saying.
Because I mean, it took me a while to get to that point. And what my cousin told me, she said, well, it's her brother and her. She said, well, you have to look at it this way. Daddy put more into him because he knew that if he did not help him more, he wouldn't make it.
Right.
Does that make it right? That's the question. Right. And I say that because I'm talking from a standpoint of myself.
Right.
I'm the oldest of 7, and you already know
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
But guess what? I was the one my dad told me he owed me a damn thing.
Right.
I'm grown. I got that. But the thought is, I made it without a lot of help from him, but he still helped all my other siblings.
Facts.
So the question is, how do you deal with that?
That's a hard thing to deal with because I actually live similar to that. I was my dad's only child. I mean, I'm named after my dad. I have the namesake of my dad, the whole 9. And I remember when my daddy passed, I was told that I was only to inherit his good name. That was it. And for a while, it actually challenged me. It bothered me for a while. And one of the things that I try to do is try to see how can I learn from what just happened. And the first thing that I learned from is not to become what I complained about was number 1, because I was so mad at how it happened with me. I didn't want to duplicate that towards my children, number 1. Number 2, I wanted to use something to actually motivate me, and that motivated me because when you a warrior, you will try to find anything in your power to motivate you. I'm a straight up Michael Jordan fan, and one of the best Michael Jordan stories was when they played the Atlanta Hawks, and he was playing against a man by the name of Scott Burrell. And Michael Jordan came to Scott Burrell and said, man, I'm going to tear you up today. What you said about my mama, I don't like that. Scott Burrell looking like what you're talking about. So anyway, long story short, Michael Jordan scored by 60-something points that game. He torched Scott Burrell. So when the game was over, Scott Burrell said, hey, Mike, man, good game, but I didn't say anything about your mama. And Mike said, I know you didn't. I just made it up because I had to, as a warrior, I got to find something in me to be mad. So I can defeat my opponent. And I use what happened to me when I came up and how my dad did me on certain things. And I forgave him, no question. But I always use that as fuel. Fuel. And sometimes I say this to a point that a lot of sweets, can give us cavities. But sometimes bad treatment in life can give you fuel. And I used that bad treatment, and I said, that's going to be my fuel. Because as a warrior, I need fuel. Like, when I played ball, I needed to hear what people saying bad about me. That fueled me up. When I used to hear compliments, it never did nothing to me. I need to hear complaints. That's what helped me. And when I used that about my dad, man, how things happen, I love him, no question about it. Love my stepmom, all that. But honestly, that fueled me up to the day because I said, I'm gonna be better than him. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna beat you. I'm not gonna allow that. You know what I'm saying? To hold me down. I'm going to beat you, and that's gonna fuel me up to be the best father I can ever be. If I leave here, I'm gonna make sure that I have a good life insurance for my children and all that stuff there. But if it wasn't for that happened with my dad, I wouldn't have had no fuel. You know what I'm saying? And that really fueled me up. And I tell anybody that been through anything, because some people have seen things in life about father not doing what they're supposed to do, the whole nine. But I really use that as fuel to really fuel me up. And one thing I can say, I got stepbrothers and all that stuff there. The children who always got the sweets and the cotton candy, they end up being the worst.
Now that's
The one that end up getting their own fuel, they end up becoming better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact, y'all was eating off cotton candy. You see what I'm saying? I'm finna fuel myself. And man, I was end up better than everybody. And even knowing you as my brother, I see you as a top dog. You know what I'm saying? Because of simple fight, you gotta fuel yourself. You see what I'm saying? Just like I had to do, man. And
I
that's real.
understand that. I can understand that.
That's real, bro.
You know.
That's real. I get my own fuel. I say straightforward. I get my own fuel, and I think I needed that. Seriously.
I think one of the things when you're talking that way, when you look at it that way, it made me think about all the guys and all the kids that came out of Cooper Park playing for Henry Brown. What people didn't understand with us is y'all had the luxury of practicing in the gym every day.
Right.
We had to practice on that concrete every day, whether it was rain, cold, it didn't matter. We had to practice outside.
Right.
So when we got in the gym, people say we act the monkey because we appreciate being in this environment because y'all get it every day. We don't get it every day. So guess what? We coming in there to beat the brakes off you because this may be our only chance to be in the gym. So guess what? We're going to enjoy this moment and you're going to remember what we learned from being outside.
That's true. It's
a good fold, and I thank you for actually bringing that to my attention. Yeah. And me and you have broke bread before and talked about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But sometimes you need to hear